You can't make this shit up. You really can't. We'll get to this in a bit. Don't worry, we'll get to it.
I want to play a game.
Now, are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then we'll begin.
Well, that was a fucking weird 24 hours. While I expected some criticism for my last video, especially from people I know in the Phantom Menace, because a lot of you may not realise this, Jeremy Army, I've been part of the Phantom Menace for a while, at least a year, although Jeremy would no doubt have you believe otherwise. But I wasn't expecting Jeremy himself to latch on to 17 seconds of a 15-minute video and cry about it so publicly, then send his retard army after me.
Guest 5. It's so refreshing to see someone who's willing to rip the piss out of himself and have a laugh at it in 2019. Oh yeah, we talk shit on this channel. You know what I mean? Like I'm okay with people talking shit to me and I talk shit back and we have fun with it. It's not a big deal. It's when people get their feelings hurt when it's funny.
But it is what it is, and it was truly insightful to see the kind of people that follow him, reinforcing my belief that all he does is pander to people in the exact same way he criticises Disney of pandering to the social justice warriors, except with Jeremy, he's pandering to the Disney haters.
In these kind of conditions, you will tend to get far-right groups being able to scoop up a lot more disenfranchised people who perhaps come to feel that these people represent the only option.
In that respect, he's no different from Renfamous, being loud, stirring the pot purely to create unbalance, and when there's unbalance there are sides and competition, and Jeremy is competing for your subs and your money. He's no better than Renfamous, it's that simple. And Jeremy, thank you, man. Thank you so much. You literally proved what I said in that video when I pointed out that anytime anyone dares to have a different opinion or criticise a leading member of the Fandom Menace, you will come out snarling, which is exactly what you did. And nearly a day later, you're still crying about it on Twitter. Twitter! I'm not even on Twitter anymore. So why don't you comment on the actual video, Jeremy? Why don't you come and talk to me? Because you're too busy acting like a victim, hiding behind your retard army. You can't be bothered to actually talk to me, but you'll bitch about me on a platform I'm not on. Balls are still there, mate. I made it crystal clear. Someone can call something without actually using the word. I'll give you an example. Now, I am in no way comparing Jeremy to this person, but I feel his army is so, shall we say, special, and he loves to overreact so much and pretend he's a victim that it needs to be stated, which is actually quite sad. So to be crystal clear, I am not in any way comparing Jeremy to Hitler. Seriously, I'm not. But he's an excellent example of someone saying something without actually using the words. Do you honestly think Hitler stood up and said, "We'll kill all the Jews by gassing them"? Of course not, which is why he had phrases like final solution. Words that meant the same thing as something else, but that could be said so that the other word didn't need to be. This is what Jeremy does. Again, I'm really not comparing him to Hitler, not accusing him of genocide. I'm not saying he's as bad as Hitler or anything like that. Although I have no doubt he will record a specific clip of this video and upload it to Twitter crying about how I said he's as bad as Hitler, sending his flying monkeys after me. Again. But the point is, someone can say something that has a meaning without saying the exact words. And when Jeremy spends 2.5 years of his time bitching about a movie that at that point hadn't been released, 99% of his time talking about how Disney wants your money and Disney don't deserve your money, ties it in with that movie, then spends 1% of the time saying, "But you do what you want with your money." And you begin to see how duplicitous he is. Saying something up front 1% of the time, but the opposite 99% of the time, makes it clear what he really wants people to do. And that is boycott Disney. Pay attention to the maths there, it's going to come up later, and you're going to kick yourself when it does, trust me. Absolutely pathetic, Jeremy. Truly fucking pathetic. You and your army are dirt off my shoulder, pal. Odin, you're no better. Crying because I called out people who called for a boycott but then saw the movie. In Odin's video about the drops compared to The Last Jedi for the opening weekend for episode 9 in the UK, I commented about how I contributed to the drop because, and wait for it, this will shock you, I'm English. I live in the UK. And I haven't seen Rise of Skywalker. Which means my comment was directly relevant to his video. But what did he do? The same thing every other leading member of the Fandom Menace has done, and claimed he didn't pay to see Rise of Skywalker. At this rate, we seem to be expected to believe that nobody bought tickets and cinemas across America would just let in people in to see Rise of Skywalker for free.
I want to see that clip. There's a big clip of the film, but you have to go watch the Rise of Skywalker in IMAX to see it.
Are you
unfortunately.
serious?
Yeah, just like they did with Dark Knight. There's a.
I will sneak. I'm good now. I can go into my theater. I'll just walk in there. I might just pay for Cats just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
But
I might do it too.
Because that's what they would all have you believe, that every single one of them didn't pay. They truly believe me and you, all of us, are that fucking stupid. There's no fucking respect here. It's a two-way street and you guys are taking the fucking piss. Just admit you paid to see the movie. Just admit it. Author Stephen Walton, who I featured in my last video and showed evidence of him calling for a boycott through a mix of virtue signalling and emotional manipulation, doesn't care. He doesn't care that he talks down to people, tried to guilt trip people into not seeing the movie, then went to see it himself on release day. He doesn't care that he's a hypocrite, that he's betrayed people. He thinks it's perfectly fine for him to pay to see a movie that he's condemned other people for seeing. This is just mind-boggling. These people cannot believe they are that important. That sense of grandeur is just unreal. I thought Trump had issues. These people, Trump's got nothing on them. And of course, Mecha42. I mean, honestly, does it get any worse than this? Openly stating on Twitter to Jeremy, in a thread that's still kind of about my video, calling out the Fandom Menace hypocrisy, actually stating the words, I called for a boycott of episode 9, after uploading a video where she states she went to see it a second time.
What are you, retarded?
I mean, do I really need to say any more? Really? Let's boycott episode 9, but I'm going to go and see it twice. These people, they must truly believe that they are something special and that we are all just thick as shit. Mecha42 will have you believe that she went to one of those magical cinemas everyone in the Fandom Menace seems to have gone to, where entire theatres will sell out for Cats and no tickets will be sold for Star Wars, but apparently nobody who works there actually notices that Star Wars screens are full and Cats is empty. You know, the ushers, the movie operator, the security watching on cameras to make sure nobody's filming the movie. None of them noticed that everyone was in the wrong screen. Surely, you don't disrespect the people who follow you enough to think they are this stupid. There's no way you can all be this arrogant. It's beyond belief, and this is the hypocrisy I was talking about. However, in spite of all that, they have opinions on Rise of Skywalker, and they are not happy with the way Disney have treated Star Wars, as I'm not either. And I do urge all of you to listen to what these channels have to say. I may be criticising them, but they're good, honest people, and I value their opinions. And we do all stand together against one thing, and that's the shit show that is Disney Star Wars. So I ask you to stand with these people, subscribe to them, follow them on Twitter, follow them on Facebook, do what you can to show solidarity against Disney and that we support these guys. Do you see what I did there? I spent 99% of the video saying one thing, then spent the last 1% saying the complete opposite. Jeremy. Told you the maths would come up again. But you see the point I'm making? Just because I say one thing at the end of the video doesn't erase everything else I said before it. And that's what Jeremy does. And this is how he called for a boycott without using the word boycott.
You know, there are going to be people out there that'll tell you, oh, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is, he said it wouldn't make, but he said it wasn't going to make $1 billion. I never said that. I said the lowest it could possibly make is 900 million. I said the lowest it could make was 900 million. That's the lowest I thought was possible.
Are you
I
sure that's
said-
what you said? Are you
Apparently
sure?
it's not,
Yes,
because
liar.
apparently
You're
lying. You're lying again.
I know. Apparently I said all of these things, yet nobody can find a clip of me actually saying it. But if you say it in a YouTube video, or if you say it in the comment section of a video, it must mean I said it, even though you can't find any fucking clip of me saying it. Yeah, episode 9 is important. It's really important. And if episode 9 does not do over $1 billion, and it actually needs to do like 1.5, 1.8 to really kind of show that Star Wars has not been affected by The Last Jedi. And it's not going to do that. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion.